those little white things. They're not polystyrene. Is it warm, Harry?
Oh, it's amazingly warm.
How many trout have you caught today?
No.
How many have I caught?
No.
We're doing pretty good. We're both doing just as well as each other. How many rocks have I hit?
Only 2.
No, 1 today. Not in total.
Yeah.
I don't think that's too bad.
No.
Here we are. Look at this cloud up here. It looks a bit scary. Looks like we've got some more snow coming in. Yeah, Harry, we're on. First trout. First trout of the session.
Here we
thought
go.
It was weed. Lovely rainbow. Try and get this out without getting smashed. How good's that? Eh? Look at that. Woohoo! First one of the sesh. Look at your monster trout. Yeah, you hold the net. So anyone just hold the net in, that's it. Look at that. What a big stud rainbow. Amy, are you happy or what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a huge fish. Well done. Beauty. So here we are, Amy. First trout. What a monster, eh? Let's have a good look at it. That is a beautiful big rainbow. Telling me about the fight. Was it a good fight?
Yeah. My hands are sore.
It was exciting. You've done well. That is going to be delicious. What do you think, Jacinta? Are you a proud mum?
I think she's amazing.
Eh?
What a
She is.
catch.
You should have seen her play it out too. Just magnificent. She did everything right. It was perfect. Very good. Good work.
Stay there, Amy.
Wind's coming up again. Had a beautiful morning though. 5 hookups. Dropped one off the hooks. One broke the lure off because I snagged up, and I got 3 lovely ones in the tub. Finally got some fish. Alright, very simple now. All we've got to do is put salt and brown sugar in each one. So we put a fair bit of salt. Don't be afraid of the amount of salt, because the liquid that comes out of the fish as it's smoking will take a lot of that salt out of the fish. Nice big hit of it. But it really makes a huge difference to the flavour, and especially the juice that comes off these smoked trout. A little bit of brown sugar, about half a teaspoon in each one, slightly more. This bigger one. And when we got all that in, we just simply rub it all well into the gut cavity. So it's got a nice even coating. So it just looks like so. And this little guy, if you've got a little bit of excess that you've done, you can just flick that out in the sink. You just want it coated, not just big globs of it sitting in there. So that's beautiful. Get this one as well. Beautiful. Alright, so there, look at the orange flesh on that, just magnificent. Okay, now we're ready to whack it in the smoker for about, I'd say we'll give this just over 20 minutes because of this big one, probably 22 minutes, and then we'll let it cool down in the smoker for about 8 minutes. Alright, we've just turned our smoker on. We've got it on one of these little butane burners, and it's up full. We've had to put it in the fire pit because it's blowing an absolute gale here today. We'll whack this biggest one in the middle where it'll get the most heat. And this one along the back here. And this one here. Now we've got a little nice separation between them all, so the smoke can get right around. You can see that smoke's already starting to come off there. So now we'll whack our lid back on. Lid that's been blown around in this hurricane that we've got here at Eucumbene today. We couldn't put the boat in because it's literally blowing 60 kilometers an hour steady, and gusts even stronger. So on goes our lid. We'll go check the time because we need to have that on for about 20 minutes. Maybe with this wind, I think we'll give it a little bit more. We'll give it 22, 23 minutes, and then we'll let it cool down for about 8 or 9 minutes in the smoker. We're about halfway through and still plenty of smoke coming out of the smoker. Smells good. Just put your hand on the top. Should be able to just touch it. That means it's cooking well, but not going crazy. If it's too hot to touch, it means your smoker's going a bit too hard. Alrighty, another 10 minutes or so and we'll be ready to turn off the heat and let it cool down. We're just going to check our trout now, see if they're done. Oh, they look pretty good. I'll give it the old finger test. That one's definitely done, definitely done. Yeah, that's cooked right through. If you can push the meat in and it gives like that, you know it's done. So we'll just let that cool just a little bit more with the lid off. But don't they look magnificent? Beautiful golden brown smoked trout. Well, smash down half of that trout in a heartbeat. Now we can just take out the rest of the bones, hopefully. Grab it by the tail like so. Gently lift it out. And all these little bones should stay attached to the trout skeleton. Snap that behind the head. And there you have a little trout skeleton and all your beautiful trout meat just ready to eat. Well, that's all that's left of our 2 trout. We've got 1 whole boneless fillet. Pull that skeleton out. That beautiful juice from it. We might make some smoked trout and yabby pasta. What do you reckon, Rex? Rex wants his dinner. It's only 20 to 12. You hungry, Rex? Nice little late in the evening troll. Tassie Devils are on. Stopped sleeting. A few people lined up on the bank hoping for a trout. This is the witching hour. We've got a nice little tank of yabbies. Trout cutlets for dinner. You've got our beautiful rainbow trout. We're going to make it into trout cutlets. So all we're going to do is whip off the head. Ooh, tricky. Now we're going to cut them into nice little cutlets. Be nice if I had a proper cutting board, but anyway, this is what we've got to use. Caught these ones yesterday. We weren't able to go out today because it was absolutely horrendous. Howling wind. Here we go. We'll do them about 25 millimeters thick. The trout's not that tough, the knife's just not that sharp. Time to whack our trout cutlets on. Let these go for about 3 minutes or so until they get nice and browned on the other side, and then flip them over, and when we flip them that's when we whack the garlic in so it doesn't burn. Got our nice chopped up garlic, nice and fine. Alright, we'll come back to that shortly. Well, we're ready to whack our garlic chips in. Put them all around the edge where it's a little bit cooler. Now we can flip our trout cutlets over. And they're lovely golden brown. We don't want the garlic to overcook, so we've got it in the cooler part of the oil. This is a funky cabin stove down at Eucumbene, so it is what it is, but it was good enough to do a beautiful plate of these trout cutlets. Here we are, our trout cutlets are ready. You see them starting to fall apart off the bone. That's what you want to see. Put them on a bit of paper, take out some of that beautiful extra virgin olive oil. Australian, of course. Alright, I'll try to get some of them out intact. Just done a steamed rice, basmati rice, with some black cardamom to give it a little bit of flavour. You can see our garlic chips, they're not overcooked, they're just nicely done. You've got to have that with your trout cutlets. Alright, looks like a good dinner coming up.